You're not late. You're becoming. You're not late. It might feel like you are, but that feeling is not the truth. It's just the noise you've been surrounded by for too long. Every day you wake up and scroll through your phone, and within minutes you're already measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. Someone just bought a house, someone just got married, someone just hit a financial milestone, someone just launched something big, and before you've even had your morning coffee, a quiet thought slips in. What am I doing with my life? That's how comparison culture works. It doesn't shout, it whispers, it creeps in slowly until it starts to shape how you see yourself. You begin to believe that there's a timeline you're supposed to follow, a schedule you're supposed to keep, and somehow you've fallen behind. But the truth is, most of that pressure isn't real. It's constructed. It's curated. It's built from carefully selected moments that don't show the full story. Social media has made it easy to see what everyone else is doing, but it has made it almost impossible to see what it actually took for them to get there. You're comparing your everyday life with all its uncertainties and struggles to someone else's best moments. You don't see their doubts, their delays, their failures, or the times they felt lost. You only see the result, and you assume it happened quickly, smoothly, and on time. So you start to rush your own journey. You start to feel like you need to catch up. You put pressure on yourself to achieve things before you're ready, to force progress instead of allowing growth. And when things don't work out as quickly as you hoped, the anxiety grows. You start to question your path. You wonder if you've made the wrong decisions. You wonder if you've missed your chance. But here's something you need to understand. Life is not a race, and there is no universal timeline. The idea that you have to achieve certain things by a certain age is something that society created, not something that defines your worth or your potential. People move at different speeds because they have different paths, different experiences, and different lessons to learn. What works for someone else may not work for you. And that's not a flaw. That's reality. Watching others win can be inspiring, but it can also be dangerous if you don't have the right perspective. It's easy to celebrate someone else's success when you feel secure in your own journey. But when you're unsure, when you're still figuring things out, their progress can feel like a reminder of what you haven't done yet. It can make you feel like you're standing still while everyone else is moving forward. The problem is you're not seeing the full picture. You're seeing where they are, but you're not seeing where they started. You're seeing their arrival, but not their process. And without that context, it's easy to assume that you're behind. But you're not behind. You're just on a different timeline. There are people who found success early, and there are people who found it later. There are people who had everything figured out in their 20s, and there are people who are still discovering themselves in their 30s, 40s, and beyond. None of these paths are wrong. They're just different. And the moment you stop comparing your journey to someone else's is the moment you start to see your own path more clearly. Trusting your timing is not easy, especially when everything around you is telling you to move faster. It requires patience, and patience is uncomfortable. It means accepting that things may not happen as quickly as you want them to. It means continuing to put in effort, even when the results are not immediately visible. It means believing that what you're building has value, even when nobody else sees it yet. But trusting your timing doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting back and hoping things will magically fall into place. It means actively working on yourself, developing your skills, learning from your experiences, and growing into the person you need to become. Because before you arrive anywhere, you have to become someone. This is the part that most people overlook. They focus so much on the outcome that they ignore the process of becoming. They want the success, the recognition, the achievement, but they don't always realize that those things require a certain level of growth. You can't step into a new level of life without first becoming the version of yourself that can handle it. Becoming is not always visible. It happens in the background. It happens in the moments when you choose to keep going, even when it's hard. It happens when you learn from your mistakes instead of giving up. It happens when you build discipline, when you develop resilience, when you start to understand yourself better. These are not things that can be rushed, and they are not things that can be skipped. If you try to force the outcome without going through the process, you might get there temporarily, but you won't be able to sustain it. Growth is what prepares you for what you're asking for. It's what gives you the ability to not just reach a goal, but to maintain it and build on it. And that kind of growth takes time. The pressure to arrive quickly often makes people overlook how important it is to be ready. It's not just about getting there, it's about being able to stay there, to handle the responsibilities that come with it, and to continue evolving. And that only happens when you give yourself the time to become. You might feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, but maybe you're exactly where you need to be for this stage of your life. Maybe the delays you're experiencing are not setbacks, but preparation. Maybe the things that aren't working out are actually guiding you towards something that aligns better with who you are becoming. It's easy to look at your current situation and feel frustrated, especially when you have big goals and high expectations for yourself. But frustration doesn't mean failure. It often means you care. It means you want more. And that desire can be a powerful thing if you channel it in the right direction. Instead of using it to compare yourself to others, use it to focus on your own growth. Ask yourself what you can improve, what you can learn, what steps you can take today that will move you forward, even if it's just a small step. Because progress doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's slow, but it's still progress. One of the most important shifts you can make is to stop measuring your life based on external timelines and start measuring it based on internal growth. Are you better than you were last year? Are you more aware, more skilled, more disciplined? Are you moving even if it's not at the speed you expected? Those are the questions that matter. The moment you stop rushing your journey is the moment you start to appreciate it. You begin to see that every stage has its purpose. The confusion, the uncertainty, the trial and error, all of it is shaping you. All of it is contributing to the person you are becoming. And that person is what will determine your future, not the speed at which you get there. There's no fixed deadline for becoming who you're meant to be. There's no moment where everything suddenly makes sense and falls into place perfectly. Life is a continuous process of growth and change. You evolve, you adapt, you learn, and you keep moving forward. And that process looks different for everyone. So when you feel like you're falling behind, Remind yourself that you're not in competition with anyone else. Their journey is theirs and yours is yours. The only comparison that truly matters is the one between who you were and who you're becoming. And as long as you're moving forward, no matter how slowly, you are not late. You are in the process of becoming, and that process is just as important as any destination you have in mind. In fact, it's more important because it's what determines whether you'll be able to handle what you're working toward. It's what builds the foundation for everything you want to achieve. So take a breath. Step back from the noise. Stop measuring your life against timelines that were never designed for you. Focus on your path, your growth, your journey. Trust that what you're building, even if it's not visible yet, is leading you somewhere meaningful. Because one day, when things start to come together, when the progress becomes visible, when the results finally show, it won't be because you rushed or compared or tried to keep up with everyone else. It will be because you stayed on your path. It will be because you gave yourself the time to grow into who you needed to be. And when that moment comes, you'll realize something powerful. You were never late. You were always becoming.